Robin from Backscatter here with my friend Hergen from Nauticam, and we're looking at how to install the new Canon C200 here in the NA C200 housing from Nauticam.
Sounds great. Let's get to it.
Let's do that. What's first?
Well, first we need to do, we can see here we already have the tray mounted on the camera. Super simple, no tools needed.
Okay.
Tighten those two screws by hand. Next thing we need to do is open up our housing. As a standard with Nauticam housings, we just depress the two red knobs and flip up the levers, and off comes the housing.
Okay.
Back, we can set that off to the side. All right. So now we can go ahead and put the camera inside the housing. We do activate the trigger of the camera through the remote. So we do have this remote cable. We'll just move that out of the way quickly so we can go ahead and slide the camera in. And we'll plug that in on its way into the housing. All right.
I got you.
So again, bottom mount tray. So it just sits on the bottom there and slides right in. Okay. Once we're most of the way in, I'll just reach over here and plug in the remote. Okay. Then we can slide that the rest of the way in, lock it down with the locking lever. That's all set. So the last step we need to do is we do need to connect the Sdi cable, which is what's going to feed the monitor up here. So we'll just attach it. Let's see if I can do this from here. Okay, and then that goes into the Sdi out on the camera. And then we just tuck this little bit of cable that's left over out here nicely out of the way. Okay, and then we can go ahead and put the back on. Remember to turn it on if you are using the vacuum system, as you would in a real road situation. You would turn that on before you would put the back on the camera's housing. Push the two levers down, get that nice positive feedback that it's locked in place.
Yeah.
And we're ready to go.
We just need to engage our focus gears here.
If we're using in focus and zoom, we would just engage those levers to drop the dials back down, to drop those gears in place.
We're just flipping those up, right?
Yep, and there we go. So if we wanted to change a lens or change a port, really simple. It's one of the great things about Nauticam is how fast and easy it is to change the ports and lenses on our system. So the first thing we want to do is the opposite of the last step you did. We want to disengage those focus and zoom gears by just flipping those levers down. And that's going to pull the gears out a little bit so we're not running into any resistance when we remove the lens.
Okay.
So as with all our other port systems, just push down the gray button, lower down the red lever, make sure you keep a hand on that port because that port will just so easily come right off.
Yeah.
Right? And then when we want to remove the lens, there's a lens release button on the housing right here. So that's actuating that lens release on the camera body. If you want to go ahead and hold the housing for me real quick, and we can go ahead and just pop the lens off.
Awesome.
Slap a new lens on, ready to go. So we'll just put this one back on. Just line it up. Lock it in. We can drop those, engage those dials again for zoom and focus. Line up the port, push it on, flip up your lever.
Simple as that.
Off you go.
So what are some of the main controls you would use after getting the camera set up in here?
Yeah, so let's run quickly. Start on the right side here, the right handle of the housing. As I mentioned earlier, we really try to make sure that all the essential controls are right at your fingertips, because nothing ruins a shot faster than having to take your head away from the monitor and try to find a control. And then by the time you're done, the scene has passed you by. So we really try to make sure that the majority of the controls that you need are right here at your fingertips. So right here on the right side, you see we've got two levers. We've got a thumb lever here, and that's actually assignable. So you can make that your autofocus, or you can make it your auto iris, whatever you like. And then we have the trigger here, which again is electronic. It's using the remote function of the camera. It's not a physical trigger. And then in front here, we've got one of our control dials. And so this control dial is for zoom. So this is actually zooming the camera. This is actually zooming the lens, and you can see the lens moving there. Super simple, and you can even actuate that without taking your hand off the handle.
Nice.
Over here on the other side of the camera, you can see we have a little bit more going on. We've got our power here at the top. We've got another one of those assignable thumb levers here. So again, you can assign that to your auto iris or your autofocus, whatever makes you happy. Over here, we've got our focus dial. So this is activating that manual focus on the camera. So right here, we've got our iris control. In front of that, we've got the neutral density filter control, and it's really simple. By just pushing that forward or back, you can cycle through the neutral density filters that are available on the housing.
Cool.
Yep. We've also got our white balance, one-touch white balance down here, or to cycle through the different white balance settings. And in addition, we've also got our peaking, magnification, ISO, all those other functions that you might be looking for.
Cool. Yeah, all the main stuff you need basically right at your fingertips the whole time.
Right at your fingertips.
Nice. Yeah, so super easy, and most stuff you can access without even taking your hands off the grips. Not too bad. Ready to start rolling some awesome 4K underwater, huh?
Sounds good.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks, Hergen.
You're welcome.
And if you have any other questions about setting up your C200 and your NA C200 housing, just call us here at Backscatter. We're always happy to help.